My name is Asha. I am a senior team lead at Reseller Club. I manage new business for Reseller Club. What my team essentially does is we onboard new clients onto our platform and ensure a smooth onboarding for them, along with suggesting the right products that fit their requirements. Which brings me to the topic of today. As you all might have read the topic in the invitation, the topic is how to select the right hosting fit for your website. What I've done is I have divided this topic into three broad categorizations, which will be our agenda for today. The very first topic we'll discuss or subtopic we'll discuss will be what is the significance of hosting to a website and what all should we consider before we choose the right hosting product. And then on the basis of those categorizations or factors, we will classify different hosting products. We will then move on to question and answer round. However, I would suggest that any questions you may have while I am presenting could be simultaneously entered in the chat box, and any one of us will be happy to answer to those questions simultaneously. So let's begin with the very first subtopic for this major topic, which is what is the significance of choosing the right hosting product for a website? Sorry, just a hiccup. Give me a second. Right. What is the significance of choosing the right hosting product for your website? The right hosting product is like taking care of 70 to 80% of the functioning of your website. The right hosting product is very well described, it could be very well described as the backbone for how your website is going to function. The right hosting product ensures that whatever is the purpose of your website or whatever you wish to deliver from your website or accrue from your website is been catered to efficiently, smoothly, and in the fastest manner possible. So I just have a question for all of you, and you will have a poll pop up where I would really like you to answer as to which factors do you consider before you choose a hosting product. And let's just make sure we think of a hosting product or a hosting solution, not the provider. I will just wait for 30 seconds before you guys enter in whatever you think are the factors you would consider for the hosting product and not a hosting provider. So I do see a few responses coming in. Let's keep them going till we all have chosen what we would think of before we choose the right hosting product for a website. All right, I see a few change of dynamics there. Great. I think I will move on with the result that's on my screen, which shows that the highest number of people have chosen support and uptime to be the factor while choosing the hosting product. The second highest seems to be pricing, along with resources that are required and how scalable you would want your product to be. Lastly, 9% of you have chosen the proficiency you have to manage the hosting product, and nobody really selected traffic that you're expecting on the website. Now let's go back to the presentation. Right. I hope you guys can see the slides. Well, let me start by telling you that the expected answers like support, uptime, and pricing, these are factors that you would think of once you've decided what sort of hosting product does your website need, on the basis of what are the resources that that website requires, how do you want to code it, how do you want to build it, how dynamic your website is going to be, what all do you want your website to do for which you need those sort of resources, along with what is the traffic you would expect on your website and how in correlation with how dynamic your website is going to be, and also how proficient you are in managing, or do you have an in-house person to manage that hosting product for you. After you've seen all these factors and selected the right product, price, support, and uptime helps you to select the right provider. Because for one particular product, the price could differ for different providers, but price should not essentially be the factor to consider to choose the hosting product. Even support and uptime should be the reasons or the factors you choose or rather think of while choosing the right provider for you. Sorry. So what should you ideally consider? At first, saving a few dollars on a hosting product seems like a good option. But right now, as we all know, the patience level of the audience or the target audience on websites is minuscule. If your website falters in delivering what it's supposed to deliver in a timely fashion, you're going to lose out customers, or whoever is the website owner will lose out customers, which beats the purpose of having a hosting package, which beats the purpose of having an entire website to deliver something that you're trying to accomplish, or to accrue revenue that you're trying to accomplish by selling certain products on your website. Now, price in the
Hi Asha,
longer run,
so sorry. So sorry.
yeah.
We're having one of those days. Unfortunately, we cannot see your screen. Can you please share it again?
Oh my God. Okay. Just give me a second. Is it visible now?
Yes, it is. Sorry, everyone,
Oh,
again.
extremely sorry, guys, but I think we are all used to this by now. So, yes. So, pricing in the longer run seems to be more, as in you'd save a few dollars in the beginning, but in the longer run, you would lose out a lot more money than you've initially saved by choosing a smaller hosting product, which is not fit to service your website. Hence, what are the factors that we should rather consider are these: resources required, like CPU, RAM. What sort of bandwidth do you think will be required for each visitor to view your website efficiently, smoothly, and in a fast manner? What sort of CPU or RAM does your website need to run efficiently? The next factor to consider is how complex your website is, or in congruence with what is the website type. For example, an e-commerce website which has probably videos playing, which is extremely dynamic, which changes with every click, is a lot more complex than a website which is just a single page website which has a well written blog or just a few couple of pictures and isn't as dynamic as an e-commerce site might be. So these factors are extremely important to consider. The next is scalability. What I mean by scalability is the ability of your hosting product to grow along with your website or along with the requirements of your website. Scalability essentially means that a product allows you to add or upgrade certain individual resources of that product as per your requirement. The next one is management proficiency. Like I mentioned, do you have an in-house person to manage the product for you, or do you need the simplicity of it being managed completely by the hosting provider that you select? The next and the last one is any specific feature that you require. For example, if you wish to code on ASP or ASP.NET, then you would have to go for a Windows hosting package or a product. Going forward, I will now classify the different hosting platforms or products very generic and on a larger perspective on the basis of the above factors. So, broadly categorizing them into two buckets are uh, rather three buckets. I'll tell you the third bucket later. Uh, the first bucket would be very low resource centric or low resource utilized website, which can be hosted on shared platforms, which do not give you shell access or root access, which may or may not give you shell access, but they do not give you root access as they are managed by the provider. The second category of websites are custom applications or heavy resource centric websites, like the example I gave you earlier, where you are expecting a huge traffic, which is extremely dynamic, an e-commerce website which has multiple pages, multiple layers to the website, and probably has videos, etc., hosted on the website, etc. They go or fall under the bucket of having a more personalized and dedicated resource to yourself, which comes under VPS or dedicated servers. The reason why cloud is in between is because it serves the purpose of scalability, but it is still on a shared platform to keep it very easy to be managed. The third bucket that I spoke about earlier are any CMS applications or other CMS hosting that you would need, like WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, etc. So this was just a question that we need probably just you to interact with us on. You could key in your answers in the chat box. I would just like to know, what types of websites do you usually host for your clients or for yourself? So if you could just key in these answers in the chat box, we'll at least get to know a reference point of what sort of clientele do you service. All right. Along with, please enter what sort of hosting package or plan or product do you think is ideal for those kind of websites? If you could just enter that as well. Okay. I hope you guys can still see my slides. Moving on, I've decided to begin with WordPress because this is one of the most or the most famous or the most used CMS hosting type, and very different from all the other hosting products that we are going to discuss thereon, but still an essential product to discuss. What WordPress hosting essentially does or is a is a very it's a system or a solution made very centric to WordPress websites only, and hence it has in all the possible um, technology is integrated for a website which is a WordPress website or a WordPress based website to run the most efficiently. So this is completely designed and essential for a WordPress hosting for a WordPress based website. This has defined storage, bandwidth, RAM, and like I mentioned, it's very ideal for WordPress. Hence, it's very easy to manage and deploy your WordPress websites on. It is again completely managed by the hosting provider, so you do not have to take the headache of having an in-house person to manage the hosting for you. This is also highly scalable, as you can upgrade or add RAM and CPU cores as and when your website seems to be growing and you need these resources. It comes with a WordPress admin panel. Like I said, everything that is integrated in this sort of a hosting product is very centric to what is supposed to service, which is WordPress. Hence, the admin panel are not the general admin panels or industry standard control panels like cPanel. It is more centric to how a WordPress hosting panel should look like. It's highly affordable and the most simplest solution for WordPress based websites. Moving on to the different products that were shown in the previous website, um, starting with the most basic form, single domain or multi-domain websites. As the name suggests, these are more for end customers and only for hosting a single website or multiple websites of a single client, because these products come with only one cPanel and does not come with the admin WHM panel. This is very suitable for low resource utilization or utilizing websites like blogs or any informational websites or a single page form, etc. This, because it's on a shared platform, is completely managed by your hosting provider. It supports a traffic of an approximate of 5,000 to 10,000 visitors per month. This is extremely cost effective if the purpose of the website is a single page, very basic, simple website that wishes to deliver something to the clients in the most cost effective manner. What the drawback of this particular product, which probably will push you to the next product, is that this only comes with a single cPanel. So if your agenda is to have multiple clients hosted on and resell hosting to multiple clients, then reseller hosting is the ideal product. This also is on a shared platform and hence is completely managed by a hosting provider. So it saves you the deal of managing or solving issues that are related to the server because they are done at your hosting provider's end. This is again suitable to host small to medium websites, but the USP of this product that it is that it could be sold to multiple clients with the ease of the product being managed at the at the hosting provider's end. So the essential USP of this product, as the name suggests, is reselling to multiple clients via the WHM panel. This can be upgraded. It's not highly scalable. This product is not highly scalable, but it is upgradable. What it basically means is you can upgrade to the next higher plan within the same product, but you cannot add individual resources to your product. It supports a traffic of 5,000 customers, or rather 5,000 visitors per month on an approximate basis. This does not come with root access. What root access does is it gives you complete control of the server. You can even play around with the operating system in terms of upgrading, downgrading the operating system, or installing any custom applications, installing any softwares that your third party software that you would like. Root access gives you complete control over the server in order to be for it to be used as you would like to customize it. But all these packages that we have yet spoken about, all these products they all fall under shared platforms. And because it is hosting multiple clients on one single platform, root access is not possible to one single client, and hence it is also managed completely at our end. So this is more suitable for any beginner to intermediate requirement website that has beginner to intermediate requirements and is completely managed at the hoster's end. Moving forward, if you need a website, if you think your website needs a hosting product that is highly scalable, so it has an amalgamation of or the best of both the worlds, where you get scalability like a VPS would give you. However, the simplicity of a shared platform, which again takes away the stringent task of managing the hosting product for you from you to the hosting provider. The perfect solution for this sort of a requirement will be cloud hosting. This allows you to host growing websites because, like I mentioned, it's highly scalable, and you can have a one-click upgrade to a one-click upgrade of CPU or RAM to add additional resources to your growing website. It's also suitable for smaller e-commerce websites or product catalogs, etc. And like I said, it is still under shared environment, so you do not have to manage the platform or the product. It also has caching, which enables faster loading speed. It's highly redundant, highly reliable, and it's on a cluster of servers. That's why it's a very redundant solution. And like I said, an amalgamation of both the worlds, where you get the resources or the speed of a VPS package, but it is still under the shared platform, so it's easy to manage for you. This package, again, like I said, as it's under the shared platform, it does not come with root access. And hence, if you do need root access along with reselling abilities, along with hosting large websites or custom applications, the best product to go for will be VPS. This ensures that a high traffic website runs smoothly and efficiently and resolves extremely fast for your clientele. This again is a semi-managed server because it gives you root access, that is the complete access, like I mentioned earlier, to play around with whatever you wish to add on the server, on your part of the server, etc. And hence it's semi-managed. So here the efficiency to manage your product becomes a little higher and is at a higher end because your provider only manages a part of it for you. They will obviously manage the uptime or how the server is running in their data centers along with any other add-on that you've taken with them like cPanel or Plesk. However, managing, adding any third-party softwares or managing the servers um, versions, etc., will be done at your end. And hence, some sort of management proficiency is required to go for a VPS hosting product. This is ideal for large websites and hence is extremely scalable as well. You have one click upgrade and an on demand storage that you could add to as and when your website grows and is in need for extra storage. As I mentioned, this is a feel of an environment that is dedicated for your website without paying for an entire server. But what if your website is extremely dynamic, needs a lot of resources just for your website, along with having root access as well as having a huge amount of traffic guaranteed for your services to run, then you go for dedicated hosting. I will also show later on in a tabular format how these different higher end products differentiate from each other so that it's all visible in one screen for you guys to understand what works best for what sort of hosting, what sort of website. Dedicated hosting, as the name suggests, the entire server is for at your discretion. It's for you. This again, like VPS, is semi-managed at the provider's end and gets you complete root access. So if these are the requirements that your website has, then dedicated hosting is the most suitable option for you. Now, why I said that pricing is not a suitable feature or a factor to think of while choosing a hosting product, it is because if you need the website to be up and running and is extremely dynamic, needs quick resolution, needs high resources for all of this to function smoothly, then a cheaper hosting product shouldn't be the choice. Because, like I said, it will drop the website, it will have issues, it's on a shared platform. It's exactly like how you would have an entire apartment to yourself versus have living in an apartment with multiple other roommates. You can't host a major party in that because your other roommates will be disturbed, which is exactly the situation when it's a dedicated hosting environment versus a shared hosting environment. um, so moving forward, these all these products can be again divided into two types, which are Windows and Linux, based on what sort of coding or what sort of language do you wish to code in. Uh, with Windows, you get a plus panel. With Linux, you get a C panel. And all our products currently have Windows as a solution other than VPS. What I would like to do is just a quick poll for us to understand. Would you guys suggest we add VPS Windows onto our product portfolio as well? So just a quick poll for that. Let me see if it's begun. Right, I think the poll has begun. So if you do think that VPS Windows is a good product for Reseller Club to have as a solution into our product portfolio, please enter yes. Or if you think you've never had such a requirement where VPS Windows is sort of the solution, then kindly select no. This is just for us to understand if this sort of a product is going to add value to our clients. I'll just wait for a couple of more seconds for it to complete a minute. Okay, we're going neck to neck so far. All right. So I think only 97, no, sorry, 79% of you guys have voted. 45% think this could be a good solution for Reseller Club also to have for you guys, and 55% haven't gotten this requirement yet. All right, thank you so much for answering that. That really helps us to understand what sort of requirements can we fulfill. Moving forward, there are two other variants that are also that are also very crucial to think of while determining which hosting product would you like to go for. One is SSD based solutions, and the second one is HDD based solutions. The most critical factor in determining which one would you like to go for is usually speed. So the speed that SSD platforms give you is 5 to 20 times higher than an HDD platform would give you. Because in HDD servers, you have a physically spinning, an attribute of a physical part which spins to resolve your websites or to cater to your audience. Wherein an SSD, it's a chip and it's a lot faster. Uh, because it does not have any physically spinning part, it is highly secure and reliable. It is not going to break down like in an HDD solution. Uh, and lastly, cost, because it's a newer solution or a newer technology as compared to HDD, it is slightly at a higher cost because it comes with all these other features or factors that ensure that your speed is extremely high in delivering what you wish to deliver to your clients, along with the data security and reliability being top notch. Uh, so we have SSD variants in all the products that I'm going to show you in the next slide, which is this. So this is just a pictorial representation of the difference between the most difficult to choose products. So I would just give you guys 30 seconds to grasp this and to see what essentially the difference is. There is also another a simpler representation in the next slide. But like I said, this is moving from a slightly basic website to a more dynamic, to a large resource centric website. And again, dividing them on the basis of what sort of management do you get along with each product. Whatever is on a shared platform is usually managed by the hosting provider, so you don't have to take the headache of doing that. And whatever is usually, but whatever gives you root access usually comes under the semi-managed category. The traffic, as you see, is divided so on and so forth, beginning from a low traffic or a low footfall sort of a website to something that expects a huge amount of traffic going up to 10 lakh visitors per month. And that also correlates, the website type and the traffic correlates to what sort of resources would you need those websites to run. Lastly, how do you expect the growth of the website, and do you think that if the growth of the website is extremely fast and hence a scalable option suits better? Moving forward, this is exactly how you can choose which hosting product do you need. What is the size of your website? What is the expected footfall or traffic on your website? How complex the website is, which in turn uses the resources and ensures what sort of resources does your website need to resolve each time. Ease of maintenance is going backward, like I said, because of how uh, each hosting product is either managed by your hosting provider or would need to be managed by you, depending on if it's on a shared platform versus if it's on a dedicated platform, and does it have root access or not. The pricing of the hosting, obviously, whatever gives you higher resources, whatever gives you a more dedicated feel of hosting on an entire server, the pricing of that sort of a product goes towards the higher end. And lastly, the skills required, if it's managed by us, the skills required at your end to access it, to manage it, would not be as much as when you have the entire control of the server. Lastly, what would you do if you do need an entire server to yourself, or say a VPS product, but you do not still wish to take the hassle of managing? If you just wish to cater to your clients and your entire focus is on managing or maintaining your client base and getting more clients, and you want to leave the entire management to the hosting provider. In that case, what we do have, and many other providers I'm sure have, what it's called is managed services. For example, we have managed dedicated servers where you get an entire server to yourself, but the management from right from top to bottom is done by us, by the hosting provider. Uh, Even if it means that you wish to install any third party application, any software, you are just a quick call away for that to happen. We have a team managing it for you. All right, then. So this brings us to just quick two exciting questions, which will come up as a poll for you guys. So the first question is, which hosting plan or rather product would you consider for an e-commerce platform or an e-commerce website that needs to stream videos, which is highly dynamic and is expecting a minimum traffic of approximately 500,000 visitors per month? And you would not want to take the task of managing this completely by yourself, and you would want the hosting provider to manage it for you. Tanya, can we run a poll on this, please? Great. So the time has started. Only 20% of you have voted yet. Let me wait for just 20 more seconds. Guys, let's key in our votes. All right. So 85% of you have voted yet. Great. So yes, the right answer is managed dedicated servers. It is because of how dynamic this website is going to be. How you think that you're going to expect a footfall of 500,000 visitors per month, along with you don't wish to manage it. These give you the answers that it's a managed dedicated server that suits your requirements the best, which lets you to host such a dynamic, highly complex website, along with not having the proficiency to manage it at your end, and not having to take that sort of a headache to manage it at your end. So great. So I think most of you have answered um, it to be the managed dedicated servers. Let's go to the next question, which is again a similar poll. All right, again a similar case study. So which hosting plan will you consider if you wish to create a database along with generating a database full of applications that allows you to collate data, fill in a one-page form sort of a website? It's a lengthy form. You're expecting a footfall of 20K to 25K per month, and it's a very fast growing website. So all the hints are in the question. Tanya, if we could begin this one. Great. It started. Again, the key factors here are though it's a single page form or a website, it's expecting a footfall of 20 to 25K. And hence you think growing the website to a more dynamic one would be required. You're expecting a fast growth for this particular website. 70% have voted yet. I'll wait for another couple of seconds. Great. So I see. Okay, great. So this one as well has gotten the correct answer, but yet there is some sort of a confusion. 56% of you guys have answered it correctly, which is the most appropriate solution for this sort of a website would be cloud. The reason is because it's expecting a higher footfall than a completely shared package would be able to entertain. And it's a fast growing website, which means you're trying to going to make this website into something which is slightly more dynamic than just a single form, which will probably have pictures or and stuff put up, which is going to make it slightly more resource centric, or something that uses a little more resources. And hence the right answer would be cloud, as it's extremely scalable, and your website still does not need that sort of an environment which is dedicated for this website. So the right answer would be cloud. All right. This brings us to the end of our presentation. If you guys have any questions, any suggestions for our products, any feedback, kindly enter this in the chat box. We will also, whatever questions, if any questions we've missed, we will send in those questions via an email. So we welcome Meenal back.
Thank you, Asha. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm really sorry I got dropped off. Looks like today has been a day of internet connectivity issues, but I hope it was seamless beyond that. I mean, I sorry for the couple of glitches we had. Just want to check with the team if there are any questions that we have to take. Sure. So looks like we have one question, guys, and I'm just trying to pull that out. Asha, you'll be the right person to, of course, answer this question. So I'm just going to say the question out loud for everyone to know what we're actually referring to. Preetham, hi Preetham, thank you for joining us. Is actually saying that Reseller Club should provide some price benefits to resellers. You sell products at the same rate. What's in it for a reseller? Could consider providing white label support to end clients, as you are not providing some benefits that Preetham thinks we should be providing. So, Asha, is there anything you'd like to add here?
Well, Preetham, we are changing our entire product portfolio. We've done a lot of changes currently this year, even on the lines of adding different pricing structure. I assure you, we've done a thorough market comparison, and our products fall under the most competitively priced products. I assure you that. What I would also like to do is I will just take this question on a more personal level to understand your requirements, because I think it will need a sort of two-way conversation for me to understand what sort of requirements do you have, and then suggest a suitable product for you. We'll also look at pricing. Do not worry about that. I hope that answers your question, Preetham.
Thank you, Asha. Also, Preetham, I feel like our teams are very flexible in terms of offering discounts and other offers whenever you may need. So since we have your information, what we'll do is we'll have someone reach out to you and understand what your requirements are. I'm sure we'll try and work something out for you.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Is there one more? Okay, there seems to be one more. Just gonna pull that out again. Hi Rahul, thank you for joining us today. Rahul, I'm not going to be verbatim, but I'm just going to try and paraphrase your question. So you're trying to understand that someone who has basic designing skills and maybe no programming, knowledge to build an e-commerce website, something like a supermarket website with shopping cart, etc. Which hosting product is better, WordPress hosting or Weebly? I think that's the first part of the question, Asha.
All right. So let me start with this, that again, this sort of a question, it completely depends on what sort of footfall are you expecting, how dynamic your website is going to be. It's very subjective to what you're trying to accomplish from that website. I understand you're saying that it's going to be a basic e-commerce website, but what sort of an e-commerce website? What all are you trying to implement over there? WordPress would not be the best solution over here, because you're expecting it to be an e-commerce solution. So I wouldn't suggest WordPress for that. But Rahul, for you as well, I will take this offline. I will understand your requirements properly and then suggest the right hosting product for you. For now, WordPress is not the answer. I hope that answers.
Thank you, Asha. Thank you for that. Sorry?
Is there a second part to the question?
I think what Rahul was adding was that, of course, there'll be a requirement of payment gateway, SSL, of course, because you covered that in your answer itself. So thanks. Yeah.
I
would.
mentioning that. So I would suggest shared hosting, but then again, depending on any other requirements that you may have, it's best to know all those requirements and then suggest a hosting package for you. But to begin with, probably on a shared platform.
Okay, I think that's about it. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and it was great having you all. I hope this session was meaningful. Thank you, Asha, for removing some time and taking, of course, everyone through this. I think it's been very meaningful and lovely. Before I just end, guys, I'd like to just let you all know that I cut off when I was talking about Cloud Bazaar, but we'd love to see you all there. Like I was saying, we have some great sessions lined up, talking a lot about the Indian landscape and even the global landscape, and during the pandemic and post. You got a bunch of workshops where you can actually come and learn, great partners to talk to, and amazing web professionals from all around the world to network with. So we'll see you on 11th and 12th December. Please register on cloudbazaar.org because we're really excited about doing another event virtually. And of course, that one will be at, will be a trade show and a conference, so slightly different from what we do, but we're really excited about that. So yeah, thank you. That's it for today. Have a good evening and a good day, and we wish you really well. And thanks.
Thank you so much, everyone.